lab 6 on caramelizing onions. So here we have our olive oil and our yellow onions, some butter for glazing, a knife, a spatula, cutting board, and then our ceramic pan and a stove, of course. So we begin by cutting off about an inch away from the roots of the onions on both ends, and then I begin by peeling off the rest of the peel on that yellow onion until we get a nice shiny layer and cutting it into 2 halves. Here I use my knife. It's a bit more dull than somebody else would use because my knife skills are not the best, and I evenly cut up my onion. I work on both halves, and I make sure that my pieces aren't too choppy and they're pretty thin to make my caramelizing, sauteing process a lot more even so we don't have any burnt or crispy pieces. So here I am finishing it up, and you'll see I've got a big pile that will be dumping into our ceramic pan, but we'll first start off with our virgin oil in there. So here I am finishing it up, picking up my mess. I'm evenly distributing it into a clear bowl just to kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at, and to divide up all the pieces so that they're not all stuck together. That way they cook and receive the same amount of heat the best that they can. I measured my olive oil about 2 tablespoons and dumped it into a hot pan, and the heat's going to be pretty intense at first, sitting at 7, which is the highest that the stove will go to. And I evenly spread out my pieces of onion that has been chopped finely and my pan with olive oil. Now I go in with my deglazing addition a little later because of the audience that is receiving these onions. They like there's a little more. This is my onions after about 3 minutes, that nice light color in them. This is them after about 15 to 20 minutes. And we do see there's an immediate change. And then here's that halfway mark where our onions definitely get a lot darker. Because of the fault of having the ceramic pan, they do darken and get crispier on some edges. And that is because of the heat that is distributed throughout. So that is the fault there. I do think the butter also could have used a bit more olive oil associated with it to reduce in burning, but our finalized product was, it had a strong aroma associated with it that reminded me of an hibachi grill. It had that nice familiar caramelized look to it, and it was sticky and yummy to taste on its own. I'm going to show it once again, all together compiled into a clear bowl. You can definitely see after cooking and sitting for 45 minutes, the first 3 on intense heat, and then after that we simmered it. It's just ooey goodness, and it was a successful project conducted through that dry heat method of sauteing.